Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, thank you so much.
Sure.
Welcome back to Eye on Politics. So you released your plan, what you call Operation Double Nickel,
Yes.
yesterday. When did you start working on it, and why release it now?
You might say the campaign season officially started the day after filing deadline. So that's part of it. Secondly, we've been working on it since session ended, to be honest with you. I mean, thinking about what do we do next, and we knew the homestead exemption was popular with the people. We knew it would pass overwhelmingly, as it has in the past, in November. But we really wanted to see what is the next step that we can do that is significant, gets us the biggest bang for the buck, that we can afford, because you carry it on year after year. Once you do it, it has to be done every year. And I would say it really kind of came together in the last 2 weeks.
And obviously, it's different from Governor Abbott's proposal.
Yeah.
He's touting a constitutional amendment to end school property taxes on homesteads, and he's got appraisal caps, et cetera. You're not calling for that. But people, despite the fact that these homestead exemptions have risen tremendously,
Yes.
are still unsatisfied. And some I've talked to say they believe it's a Band-Aid. What do you say to that?
A Band-Aid for what?
A Band-Aid that it's only temporary, but because the appraisals keep shooting up, it doesn't mean anything.
Jack, once you freeze someone's value, as we do now for 65, appraisals don't matter to them. By lowering it to 55, out of our 6 million homeowners in Texas, 3.3 million will have their appraisals frozen for the rest of their life. That's significant. It's a different way of getting at that issue without the appraisal caps that only make taxes go up in the short and long term. The appraisals, for the most part, have been taken off the table anyway. Jack, people get their value in the spring, their appraisal, but they don't look at the tax bill. And so the appraisal used to be, if your appraisal went up 8% or 7%, your taxes went up 7 or 8. That's just not been the case since 2021. We changed it in 2019. And how did we do that? Because we limited how much local government can spend or their revenues can increase, 3.5%. So as the values go up, they have to lower the tax rate. But the best thing you can do is just to freeze them. So coming down to 55 is significant. And if you talk to seniors today, and you can, look, Jack, you can always go out and find somebody who's not happy, okay? But the average senior isn't paying any more school taxes for the rest of their life. That's just the fact. And those who may still pay, it's been cut by 85 or 90%. Overall, since 2021, we've cut school taxes about $2,000 overall. And so when people look at their tax bill, in most counties you have to have a 5-year, look back what you were paying then and what you're paying now. So once we eliminate all school taxes, which I think we can do in total for everyone in 2 or 3 sessions total, once you get that done, well, that's 40% of a property tax bill that's just going to go away.
So you're saying you can eliminate school property taxes on homesteads?
On homesteads.
For everybody, no matter their age?
In several more sessions. You can't do it all at once. It's just, we've been doing this, remember, I increased the homestead exemption to $25,000 in 17, then to $40,000, then to $100,000, then to $140,000. So the cumulative impact is why we are where we are. You can't do it overnight. But when we go to 55, we're going to eliminate property taxes, school property taxes, on the average homeowner, probably for about half of the homeowners. It'll be frozen because I believe that bill will pass, by the way. I think it'll be so popular. We've had such great response from it. People are excited, even if they're 49. Hey, I'm going to get my taxes frozen in 5 years instead of 15 years. It's a big deal. And then you continue to raise the homestead exemption for the under 65, and you can get there over several sessions to pretty much take that off the table. Here's the deal, Jack, and I haven't looked at the governor's plan closely, and we're not in competition. I'm not competing with him on my tax plan, his tax plan. The great news, Jack, is when I got elected as a senator and as lieutenant governor, the truth is I was the only fighter for lowering property taxes, the only one. And now everybody's with us. And so we're going to get there to a good conclusion. But I also put in my slides yesterday and the video that we put out, that you just can't, this, I have to be, you have to be honest with the people. I'm not saying the governor's dishonest, he's not, but I know the numbers. I did a half-hour press conference without a note, okay? I know these numbers by heart. It's $40 billion to get rid of all school property taxes. $40 billion. That's our entire budget for education. And so the only way you can do it is increase sales tax from the current, I'm going to round it off, 8 cents to 14 or 15 cents. And if you want to eliminate all property taxes, it's about 25 cents. I don't believe that the public will accept that. I don't believe that they'll accept doubling the sales tax on everything they buy or tripling it. And so at least I want people, and if they decide that's what they want to do, but I don't think that's what, business will fight against that. Imagine a senior who all his life has paid school taxes. He finally no longer pays school taxes, but we're going to hit him with a 25-cent sales tax now on everything they buy. So I just don't think that's real. But what is real is we can get rid of all school property tax. We've already done it for the average senior over 65. It's now going to be the person over 55. And we just keep, we can lower that to maybe 50. We can lower it to 45. Get down to your age bracket, You're a young guy. So we can do that with a combination of homestead. So.
But just to be clear,
Yes.
You're going to keep raising the homestead. The way to
Sure.
do it, you're saying, is through continuing to raise the homestead exemption and perhaps continuing to lower the age of where the home values are frozen.
Right. Yeah, it's a combination. Just think of it this way. When people say, well, how do you know seniors out there, the average senior is not paying any more school taxes? Or the average, most of them. There's going to always be someone who says, no, I'm still paying a little bit if they live in a home that's $600,000, $700,000, $800,000. By the way, homes in Texas over $700,000, that's only 8% of the market. 39% of homeowners have homes at the average of about $332,000 or less. So when you go to rural Texas or some areas and urban areas, people are living in $200,000 homes, $250,000, $275,000, $300,000. So when we come in and give you an exemption for the full value, in essence, of what your home is worth, you don't owe anyone any more taxes. It's just simple math.
Two quick political questions.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett getting into the Senate race?
I think everyone has seen the movie Christmas Vacation. And you remember that great scene at the end of the movie where he thinks he has his bonus from his boss for the swimming pool. And Chevy Chase opens the envelope, and it's the Jelly of the Month Club. And Cousin Eddie says, Clark, that's the gift that keeps on giving. Jasmine Crockett is the gift that keeps on giving. And she will turn out the Republican vote at a higher level than any Democrat who's ever run for office in the history of Texas. Every Republican will come out of wherever they are next November to vote against Jasmine Crockett.
And then are you going to be making any endorsements in any of the other Republican statewide offices for, let's say, well, first U.S. Senate,
Right.
What about Texas Attorney General, Comptroller, et cetera?
And the answer is, if you look at my history, when I'm on the ballot, which I'm in 26, I never endorse other statewide. Abbott doesn't endorse me, I don't endorse him. We've never done that because we all run our own races. So I focus on endorsing Senate candidates because as president of the Senate, I need the very best people in the Senate. I'm only as good as our members, and I'm losing 5, maybe 6 members. That's where I focus. And a few House races. I seldom get involved in congressional races unless there's some personal reason. But no, I'm not going to be changing my pattern.
Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
We appreciate it.
Okay, appreciate it.
Thank you.